Right now we're just waiting on Hayden and Ewan to come in.
This year was a special year for Star Wars. Revenge of the Sith was celebrating its 20th anniversary. In Revenge of the Sith, Anakin duels Obiwan Kenobi on Mustafar. Without it, we wouldn't know Darth Vader from the original trilogy. Even if you don't know Star Wars, you know Vader. Special thanks to Hayden, Christensen, and Ewan McGregor for bringing the iconic characters to life. Love, Mackenzie. Mwah.
Hi, we're Lori and Bill from Wisconsin.
And Star Wars is more than just a movie franchise. It's about heroism, peace, serenity, and harmony.
It's power and passion!
Well, I think despite our differences, we can all agree Star Wars is really about
lightsabers.
Lightsaber!
Lightsabers.
Lightsaber!
lightsabers.
Lightsaber!
Lightsabers.
Against me, you put her down. I see through the lies of the Jedi. I brought peace. I brought freedom to my
Wars since the very beginning, the original trilogy. Since I was little, and I was so excited when my kids got old enough to watch the movies themselves.
My dad showed me Star Wars when I was 5 years old. I went to watch Revenge of the Sith. I was so scared of Anakin being burnt alive, but he's been my favorite character ever since, and I love getting to watch Star Wars with my dad.
Revenge of the Sith is a really special movie to me. My brother is 6 years older than me. Never really had many things we could relate on, but Star Wars is that for us. We've gotten so much closer, and our relationship has gotten so special just because he sat me down to watch the movies when I was really little, and he watched them with me. And you know, it's just a really big passion of ours, and we love watching all the shows and rewatching the movies together and just being able to talk about it. I'm so thankful for this universe for just allowing us to stay so close and just to always have those memories together.
Alright, we're gonna give it our best shot. Ready? 30 seconds on why we like Star Wars, and my reason is going to be Darth Vader. What is your reason going to be, Mr. Anakin? I think he likes the red lightsabers. Every time I turn mine on, he gets pretty excited. I like Darth Vader because I like his redemption story. Everyone can be saved and redeemed no matter what. There's always good in you.
My name is Dustin from Michigan. What Revenge of the Sith and Star Wars means to me is just so much of my childhood and my life. I love everything Star Wars. It just means so much to me. I just remember being a kid when the prequels came out. My dad was a huge fan of the originals, so he took me and my brothers to all the midnight releases of the prequels and just waiting in line outside the theaters, seeing everybody dressed up with all their lightsabers. It was just the best experience and something I always remember, and now I get to experience that with my two sons, going to cons and getting them lightsabers, and it's just the best thing ever.
Star Wars means a lot to me because it brought me closer with my brother from when we were younger. We would play the Lego Star Wars games together, and it felt like a universe I was supposed to be a part of, and it's a really wonderful community, and everyone has something in common and something to agree on and something to bond over. I really felt like I was meant to be part of this, and I really hope that if you're new to Star Wars that you feel that way too.
Hey, I'm Jacob. And I'm Cassidy. And 5 years ago we met at work, and we both realized that we were obsessed with Revenge of the Sith.
And I realized that for so much of my life, I've been channeling either Anakin in my hatred of sand or Obiwan in my hatred of flying.
And that is that with the answer at this point. Be bold about
Star Wars, especially Revenge of the Sith, reminds us that there should always be, even in tragedy, close friendship, and even more so, epic lightsaber drama.
Star Wars gave us more than just movies. It really gave us brotherhood. Can't wait to see you both at the FanExpo in Chicago.
And may the Force be with you.
Underestimate the power of my love for Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith. That movie has resonated with me since 2005. From the amazing cinematography, the incredible lightsaber battles, the tragic downfall of a man like Anakin Skywalker becoming Darth Vader. What isn't there to love for this movie? Thank you so much, Ewan, Hayden, and especially George Lucas.
My grandma introduced me to Star Wars when I was 6. It's something that I have brought an absolute obsession to my house, and my whole room is decorated. Any stick or stick-like object I pick up is a lightsaber. I'm swinging it around, and it's something I can't even put into words how much I truly love it. It's like everything I do is just Star Wars.
FanExpo Chicago. We had some amazing fans share their love. Are any of those guys in the room right now? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Make some noise for them one time. Absolutely brilliant. And now, we're gonna kind of go back into a time machine to a long time ago, to a galaxy far, far away. FanExpo Chicago, are you ready? Yeah! Then let the fun begin.
What the fuck?
Ladies and gentlemen, Ewan McGregor. You have done a great job. True Jedi Masters, the lot of you. Thank you so very much. Guys, he's here!
Hello there! I saw so many people leaving as I was coming over here. I thought there maybe be about 5 people in here, but no.
You are the reason why we are here, sir.
Well, I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. I'm so hoarse, having met you all over the last 2 days. I can hardly speak.
That's all right. That's all right. You just look at us. That's all we need. That's it. First and foremost, welcome.
So nice to see you all.
Absolutely. No. I mean, they're the reason why we're here. Welcome to FanExpo Chicago. Before we jump into all of the things, obviously, with this being FanExpo, fans are what come first. And I got to know, what are you a super fan of? Is it comics? Is it sci-fi? What's your jam?
Oh, interesting. I'm a fan. I mean, my only sort of fanatical. I was a fan of Oasis back in the 90s.
Let's go.
Really, embarrassingly, I had a sort of teenage fan crush on Oasis when I was in my mid to late 20s. I was a father, and it was embarrassing. And people would come for dinner, and it would always end up with like, watch this Oasis video and listen to this album and this deep cut. You know, it was embarrassing. So the Oasis, and then nowadays I think. The only sort of fanatical, I love watching the motorcycle racing, the MotoGP, and that's the one thing that I like to, it's the only sort of sport type passion that I have. And yeah, so those would be the 2 things.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oasis and motorcycles.
Yeah.
It fits. It fits. I love it. You joined this franchise late 90s to, really kick off the prequel series, and completing that, you've had fans, I know, begging for you to come back, and you finally do for Obiwan. Yes. Which apparently a lot of people in this room have watched, like a lot, which is fantastic. What was it like to come back on that first day to put back on this character that you've really kind of made your own?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, it was such a long process. When we made the prequels, there was no, first of all, that video was really touching. I thought that was really lovely, watching the people talking about how, that's what's lovely about doing these cons, is that I get such a strong sense of how important these movies are to you, and therefore it makes them more important to me in a way. And so I thought that was really lovely to watch that special video before we came out here.
We love you!
Oh, I love you too. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it was a long process. When we made the prequels, we made them in a time there was no social media, there was no internet.
Right.
I don't think there was any internet yet.
Not really.
Can you imagine? I tell you what, guys, it was so good. It was so nice.
Yes.
We had it made, and then Apple ruined it with their stupid phone, and now we're all screwed. Anyway,
the Force Ghost of Steve Jobs is going to show up on it.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. A nice one. But there was no even internet. So then there was, and then there was social media, and then there was this sort of. I did social media for a little bit. I was reluctant at first, and then I sort of came on for a wee bit, and then I left because there was it got nasty. So I left. But in the meantime, I kept seeing all this. I didn't realize that you were all sort of waiting for more.
Absolutely.
I didn't know, but I kept seeing it all the time. And then when I did do social media, lots of messages about Obiwan and will you do it again and do it again and do it again, and it was getting to be sort of embarrassing. I felt like, so I got in touch with, by that time, Lucasfilm was with Disney, and I got in touch with Disney and said, I think I better come in, and because people had been asking, and I was like, and also in interviews, every interview I did ended with 2 questions. Would you ever do Trainspotting sequel? And because we hadn't done that yet, and we did do that, but we hadn't done that yet. And then the last question was always, and would you play Obi-Wan Kenobi again? And I kept saying, yeah, I'd be totally up for it. But it was asked so often, and it was out there so much. It looked a bit like I was sort of trying to get the job.
Were you fishing?
Please, Disney, you know, I was like, so I got in touch with them. I said, look, you better let me come in. So I went in and I just said, just so you know, I do mean it. Like I would totally be up for it. And they were like, okay, we are happy to hear that. And then we started talking, and that's where this series came from, you know. And then it became a TV series. It was going to be a movie at first, and it was with a director who then went off to do something else, and then it ended up with Deborah, and I loved working with her. She's so great.
Make some noise for Deborah Chow.
Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. And so we were lucky to work with her. And then it became a series. I think because they brought out Disney Plus, you know, they wanted a big sort of splash, and I thought that's where we were going to be. And then just before they brought out The Mandalorian. I was like, wait a minute, I thought we were supposed to be the big splash. Wait a minute, what's this going on here? But there seemed to be plenty of room for all of us, it seems.
Absolutely.
And that's
in our hearts, for sure.
Yeah.
So, obviously you brought up Deborah. What was the difference, or one of the biggest differences, between her directorial style versus George's?
Well...
Be real.
What I loved about it, I loved that first of all, she directed all of them.
Yes.
And that's quite unusual in a television series, but it was really key in this because the whole series had her vision behind it. Well, I don't know. I would never compare two directors. It wouldn't be, you know, every director is completely unique and everybody comes at it from a different way. I think also the time was very, very different. When we made the Phantom Menace on film, you know, in Britain, and we made the second one in Australia, and it was the first digital cameras. You know, we had cameras that had huge cables coming out the back of them that led all the way over to a sort of tented area over here on the side of the stage. That was all the hard drives where the digital image would be collected, and it hummed, like it literally was like over in the corner. It was like we'd gone back in time, you know, suddenly the cameras we couldn't move them as easily. It was like, but George was pioneering, you know, what we all only shoot on. Now you've got to fight hard to shoot on film these days. But he pioneered that, and so we were at the cutting edge of that. And so then when we did the series years later, and we had the volume, you know, the 300-degree wraparound, it's like a huge screen, but it's difficult to explain what it is. Maybe you all know what it is, but you know, it projects the background, so it's not like blue screen or green screen, which, you know, I've spoken ad nauseum about how hard that was on the prequels. This is actually, you could see it, you know, and there'd be like little digital people walking around in the background, and as you move the camera, it changed the perspective of the screen, so wherever the camera moved, it corrected itself. It's a beautiful piece of technology. It's still somewhat restrictive in that you only have this small area to act in, so it's not like the be all and end all. I think with Andor they decided not to use it, and they used real locations, and I think that gave Andor the sort of something special that I think they're. So I think maybe it was of its time, the volume, but we had that different technique, you know, a different technology that Deborah was using that George didn't have at his fingertips.
Of course. I love that. Make some noise for that, y'all. That's fantastic. I also got to acknowledge, so you watched Andor as well, yes?
Yeah, just recently I watched. I missed it when it came out, and I don't know. I always come to things late. That's just the way I am. If everybody's talking about something, I'm like, yeah, I'll see that later, you know. and then when I watch it, you know, a year later, I'm like, this is really good, and everyone's like, yeah, that's what we were all saying a year ago. But I watched Andor, and I watched the first episode of it at home with my little boy, and then I realized what everyone was talking about, and then watched all of the whole of the first season and all of the second season just on my own without him, because I couldn't wait to get through it all, you know. He watched bits of it with me, but I thought it was great. I really liked it, and then I got really excited. I was thinking, I think I'm in this timeline. I think I could be in season 3. And I got super excited, and then I realized, oh no, they can't be in season 3, you know. So anyway, but I could have, maybe if there was, I could have squeezed in there, you know.
If only.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's always a chance that maybe there's a story that's happening at the same time where it kind of crosses over. So there's always a chance. If Disney is listening, hypothetically.
Come on, Disney. What are we? What are we waiting for?
That's right.
Let's go. What are we doing?
This is the story you're waiting for. So, now obviously with all the tech, there's a lot of things that, you know, can go wrong, but there's a lot of practical effects, especially with lightsaber fighting that happens. Can you tell us about any sort of bloopers, little accidents that may or may not have happened in the midst of your physicality with either the prequels or Obi-Wan?
I don't know if there's any, I can't remember if there's any behind the scenes footage of it, but when Hayden and I would fight together, you know, in the prequels, the lightsabers were metal. There was the sort of the beautiful lightsaber handles that would hang on our belts, and then there was a very smooth version of those for when we were actually fighting. Because if you spun one of those in your hands, you'd cut yourself, and they were impossible to fight with. They were just dress handles, those ones. So the actual oh, here's maybe one down here.
Hey.
So there was smooth versions like this one that didn't have any detail on, but you could spin them around in your hands, and then they had a metal blade on it. It was some kind of alloy. It was hollow, which made for the end of it was just like if you imagine sawing through a copper pipe or something. The end of it was like that. That's quite dangerous. So that, and then we would go at each other like.
Right.
I mean, you properly. The only way to really do that, you learn the fights like a dance, like a piece of choreography. You know exactly. You should know exactly. You know, you're not improvising. You shouldn't be improvising because you could really hurt each other.
Absolutely.
So you learn it slowly, and you learn section by section by section, and then you start putting the sections together, and then you start trying to. They just sort of naturally speed up until, you know, you're doing them really fast. Like the Ray Park scene, fight scene after Qui-Gon gets killed was like, George was, there's a way that if you overcrank the camera, if you undercrank, hang on. To make something slow motion, you speed the camera up, right? So he was slowing the camera. We were going so fast that he was like, people won't believe this, so he was like slowing it down a bit, you know, as we were doing it, because we just learned it so well, you know, and we went at it so hard. But with Hayden and I, with the metal blades would be totally bent after one take. So we would do one take of the fight, and sometimes they were long takes, it would be a long bit of the fight, but by the end of it, the lightsabers, you know, it looked like a question mark sometimes. What the hell? There was one guy whose job, I wish I knew his name, I can't remember. Who? Thomas! Oh my God, I'm glad you know. Is Thomas the lightsaber maker? Yes, and you all know this, you see. I don't know why I'm even here, you know more about it than I do. Thomas would wheel his cart from stage to stage with just millions of lightsaber blades and remake them after every take. So we'd be handed sort of a fresh sword after each take. Thomas, yeah, of course.
Yeah. We all know Thomas.
Yeah. What's his second name?
Do you guys not know that?
Thomas Hansen.
Yes.
Oh, there we are.
Okay.
Maybe she made the Hansen bit up.
Now.
Sounds good enough.
It does sound good.
Thomas Hansen.
Yeah. No. So with these fightings, obviously the intensity was high. Was there ever a time where maybe you mistimed a swing and maybe hit your
yes, all the time. I mean, I also think George Lucas in his wisdom decided that these swords, they were so good, the Jedis, they didn't need a hilt. You know, if you look at any sword in history, it's got a, well, that's not true because the samurai didn't have it, did they? But they probably had a little bit like this.
Little piece of...
We had nothing. Like that sword would slide down and wrap your knuckles. And that was the main injury was knuckle wraps. You'd be like, oh. You'd be all butch in front of the camera, and the second they were cold cut, you'd be like, oh. So there was that. I don't remember if anyone got, oh, I tell you, somebody got really hurt. Nash Edgerton, my stunt double, who I met in Australia doing Moulin Rouge, which was shot just before. He was my stunt double in for years in Star Wars, and he did hurt himself. His mum was on set to visit, and he was doing, you know, the fight in the rain with there's a fight in the rain with Django. Thank you. Okay, just give me a second, I'll get there. Thomas.
Been busy all weekend, guys. Come on.
Django Fett. Okay. I'll get there. Thanks, I wouldn't have got there. And he did I had to do a big backflip. And he landed and he broke his teeth. No. And he was like, he was so aware that his mum was there that he was just like, I'm alright, mum. Okay. And somebody took his mum for a cup of tea. And he was not alright, you know, he really hurt himself.
Wow.
But I don't remember any nasty lightsaber injuries, luckily.
That's good.
And Nash is fine now, he's got lovely teeth.
Yay! Make some noise for Nash Smile.
Nash Edgerton. He's brilliant. He became a very good filmmaker, and his brother Joel Edgerton is a very successful actor. And, yeah, they're cool brothers.
Awesome. Now, obviously, you brought up a couple of things. Moulin Rouge, you brought up Trainspotting. We're big fans of all of your work, not just the Star Wars franchise. So, can you tell us any hints about anything that might be coming up that's not Star Wars? We don't want any issues with Disney that you might have on the horizon.
I did a film with Anne Hathaway called Flowervale Street. God bless you. It's got to be my age, isn't it? Or just my age, I think. My wife's not here. Usually my wife's like, Flowervale Street. Thomas Hansen. She just whispers names that she knows I'm about to forget, you know, into my ears. I don't have her here to remind me. Flowervale Street.
There we go.
So that'll be an interesting film to see.
Excellent.
I won't tell you anything about it because I won't spoil the surprise, but it's going to be fun, that one. And then I haven't done it. I did a play in London recently, and thank you. And I loved that, but I haven't made anything since Flowervale, which was last spring. You know, somebody give me a job.
Come on,
come on, Disney.
You know,
Season 2, for goodness sake.
Go.
What are we waiting for?
All right, so listen. Everybody, I need y'all to go on the social medias we were talking about, and it's hashtag Obiwan another, okay?
Yeah.
That's what it is, okay? Hashtag it right now.
Hashtag.
Any chance that you're gonna do any more of your motorcycle showcase?
Yes, we just did our 4th trip, Charlie and I, called Long Way Home, which is on the telly now. You can see it, and they've always spaced them out. There are a lot to do.
Yes.
And they take it's like it's an odd one. Like when I get a film and I go away on a film, you're totally like, that's my job, and I can, you know, I'm sort of I've got used to going away from my family to do my job, and sometimes they can come with me and sometimes not, I guess. But the bike trips it's difficult. That's sort of that's on me, you know. It's a job in that we get paid to do it, I suppose, but we decide to do it, and so that one I don't like to do them too close together because it's a lot of time away from my family, which I don't love. So, but we'll definitely do some more. We'll definitely do another one. We're not finished, Charlie and I. No way.
That's what we want to hear. I love it. We've got some fan questions that were turned in, and this one is from Megan. Is Megan in the room? Do we have a Megan in the room? Okay, we'll take that. Megan wants to know, what part of Obi-Wan's personality do you most relate to in your own life?
Oh. Well, I can be a little by the book like him. I can be a little bit like fastidious about things. You know, doing things the way you're supposed to do them, right. I suppose. Can be a bit like that. I'm definitely a father. I've been a father since I was 24. I've been a father I'm blessed to be a father to 5 children.
Yay.
So there's a sort of paternal side to Obiwan, especially with Hayden, you know, where I can be like that with my kids, you know. And then in the new series, I love taking him, playing him older, playing him closer to Alec Guinness's age, playing him. I loved playing him in the whole idea of taking this man we know as a capable general, you know, somebody you could completely rely on, and take him to a place where he's lost so much, you know, so many of his friends, and the ones that aren't gone are in hiding, and he's lost his faith, you know. Yeah. I thought that was really fascinating to start the story there. And I loved playing him in that way. So, and the part of that was just being older, and I am now barely today, several times quite old now.
That's more than fair. This one's from David. From the prequels, which action sequence was the most challenging to shoot, and why?
I don't know. There's lots of. I've always. I just love it so much what we do. You know that I don't ever feel that it's a challenge. I think the stuff in Tunisia was that we shot in the desert in Tunisia was hard because it was so hot. Like it was unbelievable. It was amazing. You'd be in the makeup bus, and then you'd just open the door to come out, and you'd step down the steps into the sand, and all your makeup would just go. Luckily, I was wearing mainly brown.
Yeah.
It didn't show up too much on my costume, but it was so hot. And then I suppose some of the underwater stuff would have been. That's always quite tricky because you go down and you've got to hold your breath for sometimes a long time, and as soon as you've got to do that, your brain, somewhere in your brain, or at least for me, starts to go, you should probably breathe, you know. So you start immediately panic. You do like 5-second takes, and everyone in the crew's going, is that the best he can do? Right? So the underwater stuff, I can't remember any. I just remember seeing this. You've probably heard this story because you seem to have heard everything else. But the story when I was being shown round, when I got the job to play the role, and I was being shown round by George at Leavesden, the film studio. They were making. He took me to all the different departments, and they were making the submarine that I go in with Liam and Ahmed, and they. What?
He was giving the real name, guys.
Yeah, Ahmed played Jar Jar. Ahmed Best. And so we were. I was looking at the submarine that they were carving out of polystyrene, and I had a little glass, and I said to George, "Will we go under?" And he looked at me and went, "What?" I said, "Will we go underwater in the submarine?" And he went, "There's none of it real, you know." And a small part of me died, you know. The little boy in me was like, "Oh." But anyway, it really was not a good idea to put 3 actors underwater in a polystyrene submarine, you know what I mean?
I can see it going badly.
It could go badly.
He's very smart. This is from Laura from Madison, Wisconsin. You've worked in huge franchises, intimate dramas, and musicals. How do you adapt your performance style for such different worlds and tones?
I think you just always do. That's sort of what you do as an actor. From project to project, they're always unique, you know. And you don't sort of go. You don't do like a musical performance or you're just always trying to find the truth of what you're doing. But you have a character that you that you have to embody, and you have words that the writer's given you on the page, and then you have the world that the director is creating, and the combination of you combine all those three things to come up with your performance. So it's always unique, it's always, it should be anyway. I mean, for me, that's what I think our job is, and so I'm lucky that I've had the chance to do a lot of different kinds of things, small movies, big movies, musicals and TV shows and plays. And I love the variety of it, to be honest.
Absolutely. I think we're the lucky ones, though, because we get to experience what you bring to those roles, and it's absolutely fabulous.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Thank you very much.
When you're listening to Talon, this was from Sophie, and Sophie wants to know if you could swap roles with any other Star Wars actor for one day, who would it be and why?
Oh, that's good. Well, oh, it's really hard. It would be from the original trilogy.
Okay.
It would have to be Luke or Han Solo. I mean, just so I get to work with Carrie, I think. That would be right.
Yes.
I was so lucky to know her. I met her after I'd made the first one, and we had that in common. We had Star Wars in common, and she was so funny and she was so brilliant, and I became I loved her so much as a child, and there I was meeting her in person, and we became quite good friends, and. But what I never got to do was act with her, and I would love that very much.
Oh man, yeah. Somewhere in the multiverse, maybe there's the chance.
Yeah, maybe.
This one is from Aaron from Oak Park. What was your favorite moment or scene to film in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series?
Well, there's some hard questions because I loved all of it. There was. There were some really special moments. Like I got to play a scene with my daughter Esther.
Yes, yeah.
And that was so nice. That was so lovely to play that. It was sort of kind of meta moment with her, and that was really special to be on set with her. It was something new for me, and I loved it. I loved to see how professional she was about it, and how. I tried to just step back, and I did. I watched her with Deborah and them chatting about what she was going to do, and I was just like so proud, so proud. It was so nice. So that was good, but I was just lucky to work with great actors in that series, and I got to play. I mean, some of the things that I'd never done before was I played scenes with stormtroopers.
Right.
And because there hadn't. I'm right? There weren't stormtroopers.
That's correct. Good job, y'all. Come on. He's on. He's got it.
So, I remember, I knew that, I was just joking. The first day I had to be in a back of a truck with Vivian, and the stormtroopers were there. And I remember, just because it just takes you back to the child in yourself. And so that was kind of a moment, and I loved working with stormtroopers. I hadn't done that before. And then I worked with a lot of them. Yeah, it seems by the end, hundreds of them. And then, of course, fighting Darth Vader, And we got ready. We got ready to do. We rehearsed for a long time, and Hayden and I rehearsed, and there's a fighter, Vader as well, and so we all rehearsed these fights a lot. With a brilliant fight coordinator, Jojo, and it was just the best fun. The physical training for the series was amazing, and I was older, and so it was harder to begin with. But then I could feel it come back. I could feel it coming back, and so we'd done these fights a lot. But of course, we just did them in the gym. We hadn't done them. So it was the first fight with Vader was in episode 3, I think, in this big sort of. It was like a quarry or something in LA. What?
A field.
Yeah, we shot it in this sort of quarry, it was like a cement works or something in LA. So it was a night shoot, and it looked so cool with the lights and everything. And so we rehearsed it a bit, and then I was getting ready to do the first take, And then they were, we were all ready. I was busy in my own thoughts, and then I had to be walking away, and Vader comes at me over my shoulder, and I turn around to defend a blow that he's coming to my head. And so they're like, action! And I'm just doing the first take, and then I can hear him, and I hear my sort of cue, if you like, and I turn around, and it's Vader coming at me, and I just had never seen it. It just shot fear through me to my core. Like it was like I was 5 years old again, or 6 years old again, and this image of him coming at me with that helmet was the dead eyes, It was so cool and terrifying and fun.
Oh my God.
It was brilliant.
Make some noise for that, y'all.
Yeah. Oh, and another amazing moment was that I was on set. We're on this transporter. It's after we've escaped. I think it's I can't remember what episode. I'm doing a bit of a speech to try and rally the troops on this, all the sort of refugee people on the transporter that we're on.
Right.
And Mary calls me to say, I think I'm going into labor. No. And I was like, okay. So I said to Deborah, Deborah, you better just shoot me. All of me. Do the shots on me.
Right now.
Right now.
Right.
And so she went, I said, Mary's going into labor. So we did the wide stuff, we came in a bit closer, and we did some close-ups of me, and then I was like, every time we got like a series of takes, I'd be on the phone like, how's it going? Yeah, it's definitely getting, they're coming closer together, And Deborah got my close-up, and I went, okay guys, I'm out. Got in my car, got home, and like a half an hour after I got home, we went to the hospital. We had our son.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. So they carried on shooting the other way on the crowd there, and which they took up the rest of the day. And the next day was Friday.
Right.
And so they just decided, they'd given me, because we planned it, they'd given me a week off, but it was the next week, so starting on the Monday. And I said, what if she's a week late, And they went, well, that's your week. And I was like, what? I could have got a week off before the week my son was born. But anyway, she was absolutely on a day or so early. And so they gave the crew the Friday off. Everyone got a 3-day weekend, and they were like, "Hey!"
Good job.
Nice.
Good job. That's how you do it. That's the Jedi way.
That's how you do it.
Okay, so we've got some lightning questions for you.
Okay,
so here we go. Real quick, just what your intuition is. Trust yourself. Favorite lightsaber color?
Blue.
There we go. Like it. Jedi robes or Mandalorian armor?
Oh yeah, I saw a little toy of me in a Mandalorian outfit, and I was like, what am I doing in there?
What?
Did you see that?
Beskar?
I signed it for somebody. Have you seen it? It's
Clone
Obiwan
Wars!
in a maroon Mando helmet. Oh, is that from the Clone Wars? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Not that particular.
Does he go, why is he in the Mandalorian helmet? Oh, undercover.
There we go.
Yeah. I had 2 blasters. Like Robert De Niro.
Okay.
I saved the Queen, of course I do. Yes, I've seen that.
Best pilot, Han Solo or Anakin Skywalker?
In what respect? To go for a drink with?
Best pilot, we'll say, no, I do like that. To go for a drink with. Who would you rather go for a drink with, Han Solo or Anakin?
Anakin.
Yeah!
Hell yeah!
I mean, he's my brother, isn't he?
Han might shoot you. Who's messier, R2-D2 or 3PO?
Oh, 3PO is a disaster. He's always, yeah, he can't see a thing. He's always, there's in the prequels, he's like there, like as a sort of, he's got trays with drinks and stuff. They're always like, he was always dropping them, falling over. Yeah.
I love it.
Anthony.
Which would you rather be? Really skilled with a lightsaber or really skilled with the Force?
They're the same thing. It's the same thing.
We'll say.
Yes, that's it. One doesn't come without the other.
Would Obiwan be a cat person or a dog person?
He'd be a dog person. Can you imagine him with like a basset hound or something? Come on. Come on.
I love it. I love it. Star Destroyer or Death Star?
Oh, I'd quite like to be in a Star Destroyer.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they'd be good fun to sort of explore. They're very pointy. You can go very fast in them, probably. And they do that stop thing. Don't they?
Good breaks.
So embarrassed about the Mandalorian thing. God.
Last one. Which would you rather? Join the rebellion or fight the Empire?
What? Is that a trick question?
Trick me.
Nope.
Oh.
True question.
Join the rebellion.
Yep. Or fight for the Empire.
Oh, I thought you said fight the Empire.
No, fight for the Empire.
No, join. I am the rebellion.
Yeah!
Uh-oh. Hang on.
That might not have been the right answer. Wait.
Feel the stage.
Yeah, like, can you feel that?
Oh. See what I mean?
Oh, come on. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, Hayden Christensen!
Let's go!
Guys, they're together again! Wait, before you go, we gotta get out here in front of the audience, give some love to all of them. Can we get a quick photo with you guys? Phones out, y'all. This is your moment. Wait, now you guys are in Hayden shot. Come on. Make hands, make hands. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, they've been asking for a lightsaber spin from you two. Listen, I said that Are you, just a quick spin? Just a quick spin. Oh Lord, here we go. Something's getting cut in half.
There we go, Hayden! Yeah! Let's fucking go!
Ladies and gentlemen, join me in saying goodbye to Ewan McGregor. Ewan, thank you so very much for joining us. Absolutely brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, Hayden is here. Man, so good to see you. Wow.
Hello, everyone.
Asking you each out, that is it. Dude, how has this weekend been treating you? Welcome to Chicago, of course.
Thank you.
How's it been?
This has been awesome. It's been so nice to get to be here and meet so many of you, and I've just had a great time.
Absolutely. So, last Friday, I understand you got to throw out the first pitch.
Yeah.
That was good fun. Okay, so tell me, when you're up there, do you feel any pressure? Is there any fear or hatred?
No.
Okay.
I was hoping I was going to get to practice a little bit.
Okay.
They didn't really let me do that, but it still went well. I got it across the plate.
Hey! Of course you did. That was a force win, without question.
And then I got to sing the Take Me Up to the Ball with my 10-year-old daughter, which was just so special. It was a nice father-daughter moment.
Dude, that's awesome. Now,
And it was a cool jersey, too.
yeah, I was going to say, we got to talk about that jersey. That was a dope one. When he revealed that one to you, what were your first thoughts?
Well, I'd asked for the 66. So I knew
That makes it so much cooler. franchise, soon to celebrate 50 years. Isn't that amazing? Tiara? Absolutely amazing. But before you joined the franchise in the delectable episode 2, were you a fan of Star Wars?
Yeah, I was a big fan.
Talk to me.
Well, I have an older brother who's like 8.5 years my elder, and he was like the perfect age when the original trilogy came out. So when I was a little kid, he had all of the toys, and he had Star Wars bed sheets. So I was well versed in the Star Wars universe before I'd even seen the films.
Wow.
And I loved all the action figures and Darth Vader from a very early age definitely spoke to me.
Kind of serendipitous a little bit. I like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, if you didn't have to pick Vader, who would you say was your favorite character?
Qui-Gon.
I was always a big Boba Fett fan. There's something about a masked character that I really enjoy.
So far, I love it. Now we gotta know, like, obviously to take this iconic role is huge. To get this iconic role is even bigger. What was it like when you got that call that you were gonna play Anakin Skywalker?
What she said. It was just a very surreal thing. You know, I went through this sort of many months of sort of being in contention for it and meeting George Lucas and auditioning for it. And I never really once thought that I would actually get the part. So when they finally got that phone call, it came as a big surprise to me, and I was just beyond thrilled. Yeah.
It's a welcome gift to all of us as fans as well, that you brought this character to life. We absolutely enjoy it. As much as we're fans of Anakin and Vader, you have lived as him in multiple occasions. What do you think is the biggest piece of evolution of the Vader character, or from Anakin to Vader, that we as fans don't necessarily know yet?
I don't know that I understand the question.
Okay, that's
one more time.
What about him has changed the most, in your opinion, from when we first get introduced to him to his ultimate evolution as
I don't know that anything has really changed. I mean, from sort of what we established when we were doing the prequels, that was very much Anakin's story.
Absolutely.
It's been a real joy for me to get to come back to the character, because I feel like we're just sort of adding new color and sort of getting to explore different sides of the character and just kind of fleshing him out a little bit more. But who Anakin is was obviously established by George Lucas, and that remains consistent.
Absolutely. As an actor, has your approach to playing him changed?
I mean, just from the perspective that I've changed, I guess. I've had another 20 plus years of life that I can now bring to my work, and I feel in a lot of ways a stronger connection to Anakin, just because I can understand him that much more, and I've had all of these years to continue to think about him, and I just feel it's an amazing privilege to get to come back to Anakin and continue to play this character.
It's a gift to all of us, actually.
Thank you.
The sequels were a crazy, massive production, right? There's so many hands that went into making this whole project happen. Was there anyone in particular that, behind the scenes, that either created props or makeup or something that really kind of stood out to you with the work that they did?
I wasn't in the sequels. The prequels. Okay, yes. I said the sequels. I was wondering where you were going with this question.
I meant prequels.
The prequels.
Prequels.
I'm sorry. And so what was the question?
So was it that really kind of stood out to you?
The crew?
Yeah.
So many people from the crew. I mean, kind of one of the unique things about working on a Star Wars project is that everyone is just so excited to be there, and George Lucas got the very best people, in each of their sort of respective fields to come and participate.
That's right.
So, the costume design, the set design. Thomas! Yes, Thomas! That's right, yeah, I love Thomas. He was our lightsaber maker. He did a very cool job. He hung out making lightsabers all day, and he, when we were making those films, the lightsabers were just like these metal rods, and so when Ewan and I are fighting, if we're really getting into it, the lightsabers after each take would get all warped and bent, and he would come and replace the blade for us and present us with a new saber each time. And Thomas is the go. Very sweet, thank you.
So, speaking of the lightsaber fighting, Revenge of the Sith, things get escalated in a huge way, fighting-wise. You kind of go crazy in this one. Were there any particular fight scenes that were especially challenging?
I mean, the one that Ewan and I did at the end, our battle on Mustafar, that was something that we were really looking forward to getting to do. From the get-go, we knew that there was going to be this big conflict between Anakin and Obiwan that was going to result in a sort of epic lightsaber battle. And so when it came time to do it, when we got to Sydney, Australia, to start work on episode 3, Ewan and I spent a lot of time, like months, training and practicing, trying to get that fight to be as good as it could be. And Nick Gillard, the fight choreographer, and his team just he did an amazing job and really told the story in that fight. And I'm very proud of the work that we got to do there.
Absolutely. Make some noise one more time. Truly a remarkable experience to watch. By chance, do you watch those particular fight scenes and kind of go back to remembering what it was like to film it?
I don't typically watch films that I've been in, but when I'm coming back to play Anakin again, I do kind of want to give myself a bit of a refresher. Okay, all right. So I do every now and then watch episode 3 and the fight that Ewan and I did, and it's it's a sort of a trip down memory lane for me because it recalls all these sort of great memories you had when you were filming, and I love Ewan, so it was just an amazing thing that we got to create that together. Yeah.
Just on the side, you should definitely watch the movies you're in. You're kind of amazing.
Thank you. I do love the Star Wars films, so I enjoy getting to sort of go back and watch them again when I've come back to do the Obi-Wan show and now Ahsoka. Season 2, yeah, just you wait.
Let's go!
Allegedly Disney, allegedly. That's more than anything.
Nah, that's it confirmed.
With this series, there's so many different
Look at his hair.
props and things like that. If you were gifted one, what would be the one prop that you would love to have had from offset?
I would have loved to have gotten a Darth Vader helmet.
You didn't get a Darth Vader?
I didn't get a Darth Vader helmet, no. Maybe one day. There's still time.
Yeah. Official Darth Vader helmet from Disney. I know everyone in this room is like, I'll buy you a Darth Vader helmet. Don't do it. That's fair. I love it. Okay, so after returning to the Star Wars universe in Obi-Wan, so cool, so freaking cool. What was a surprise meeting or I don't want to say this. To get back into it, you are answering kind of the call of every fan that has watched you so far, right? What's it like to know that you are really bringing that fandom to a head by coming back to something that meant so much to all of us?
It's just such a privilege. to be a part of Star Wars is an amazing thing, and it's because of all of you guys and what the films mean to you and what these characters mean to you, and so to get to come back to it for Obiwan was a very meaningful thing for me, and the work that I got to do on that show. I think it's bedtime. The work that we got to do on Obiwan, I just thought was wonderful. You know, that end scene between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan when he cracks Vader's helmet. That for me was just, it was huge because it was a side of the character that I hadn't yet gotten to explore, and the way it sort of depicted the destruction of that relationship, I thought was just really beautifully done, and it was such a nicely written scene, and the way it came to life, it was just, it all kind of, was really perfect, and I was happy with that.
Absolutely. We have a handful of fan-submitted questions that I'm going to throw at you. This one's from Maya. If you could play any other Star Wars character besides Anakin and Vader, who would you choose and why?
Well, I said I was a big fan of Boba Fett. I remember when they were auditioning for Anakin, and I first got the call from my agent saying that, we've submitted you for the Anakin Skywalker role. I was like, that's nice of you, I appreciate it, but like, that's never gonna happen. So is there is there another part that you could put me up for? And I remember thinking like, if there's a young Boba Fett or something, that would be cool. So I would go with Boba Fett probably.
I like that. Good choice. Yes. Just out of curiosity, did your agent, when you got the role, go, "We told you"?
I don't remember them saying that, but
so our agent. That's how you say it.
Yeah, they were very happy for me.
Absolutely. This one's from Sarah. Sarah wants to know which Star Wars co-star made you laugh the most on set.
Oh, definitely Ewan. Yeah, I mean, he just has a wonderful sense of humor, and he was always making me laugh, and just brought a nice kind of levity to the set when it was needed, and that always sort of stuck with me.
That's awesome. Lewis from Portland wants to know which was harder as an actor, learning complex fight choreography or performing heavy emotional scenes?
Well, I guess if you gauge it by the amount of sort of preparation that went into it, it was definitely the fight scenes.
Okay.
And also because I had no experience with fighting with a sword or a lightsaber before, so that was just a new skill that I had to learn. But there were some, challenging emotional scenes too. Like when we were doing episode 2, I remember the scene where Anakin's with Padme and he confesses to slaughtering the Sand People.
He deserved it.
That was, thank you. That was a challenging one. But they each have their sort of their own unique challenges. Yeah.
Absolutely right. I love it. This one's from Rachel from Boston. Is there another major franchise or comic book character you'd be interested in portraying?
Not that I've thought about. I don't know. I feel so fortunate for getting to play, Anakin and be a part of Star Wars, and I'm very happy to sort of have that kind of that niche carved out for myself. But that said, if there was another opportunity to do something else and the character spoke to me, I would of course be up for it. But no, I'm happy with Anakin.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, that makes us very This next one is from Kevin from Baltimore. Has playing Vader changed the kinds of roles that you're drawn to?
Perhaps when I was a bit younger, I was maybe more drawn to sort of some darker roles, just because I'd spent sort of, a good few years in sort of the Anakin headspace, and I'm sure that kind of, that that informed the sort of other work that I was kind of more interested in. But now as I've gotten older, I think, and having become a father, that perhaps makes me want to play some roles that aren't quite as dark, and I'd love to get to do something that my daughter could watch and enjoy. So we'll see.
You see how he brought balance to the Force? You see it? He brought it. It's awesome. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, before we let you get out of here, we got some rapid fire questions for you.
All right, let's do it.
Ready? Favorite lightsaber color?
Red.
Jedi robes or Mandalorian armor?
Jedi robes, obviously.
Okay. This one's kind of messed up. Who is the best Jedi Master? Okay. Wait. I have options here, just to make it fair. Mace Windu or Yoda?
Yoda.
Obiwan wasn't an option. Both great Jedi Masters, obviously. I feel like they maybe both could have supported Anakin.
Agreed!
This is true. But no, they're both great.
Okay, all right. Yeah. That's very fair. I like that one. Who is messier, R2-D2 or C-3PO?
Both a bit messy, I guess. I'm gonna go with, I don't know. I'm gonna go with C-3PO just because when we were filming it was I guess a difficult costume for Anthony Daniels to see out of, and so every now and then he would just kind of go over. and you couldn't help but have like a little bit of a chuckle. And then you'd go and help him up. But I always enjoyed that, and it always made me laugh.
You had to get the laugh out. You didn't laugh in his face. That'd be rude. I get that. Okay, which would you rather? Be really skilled with a lightsaber or really skilled with the Force?
This is such a dumbass question.
With the Force, for sure.
Absolutely, you are.
What's that? Hey, well, thank you.
Would Darth Vader be a cat person or a dog person?
Well, I'm allergic to cats. So
Yeah!
definitely a dog person.
Even in the suit though, like it's got ventilation, you might be safe from that. Okay,
still a dog person too.
Star Destroyer or Death Star?
Death Star.
The last one. Would you rather join the rebellion or fight for the Empire?
Fight for the Empire.
Oh! Absolutely amazing. FanExpo Chicago, join me one more time in celebrating Mr. Hayden Christensen.
Thank you, Hayden!